So Cavan 113, Donegal 12 points. Cavan have won the Ulster Championship for the first time in 23 years. Yeah, Patrick, as a Donegal man yourself, I mean, that's a hard one to take, I'd imagine.
It isn't. Obviously, I would have maybe had my thoughts on a bigger trophy than the Ulster Championship on December 19th. But, look, the better team won. Maybe if we lost by a point or two and there was maybe one or two bad reffing decisions, I would have been a very annoyed man, and yeah, look, I'm upset just, it just wasn't our day, but still, fair play to Cavan, the better team won, and even when they got that goal and Donegal got a few chances later on, just the way they defended like absolute dogs, and they're an absolute credit to themselves in the County Cavan, and yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, and it was like, what do you put it down for, like, in Donegal's performance in the game? Because, like, even in the first half of times, they just never really got out of, they never really got into their usual rhythm, uncharacteristic wides at different points. And especially late in that second half, normally when Donegal power on and they show, like, you could tell they had the quality there, but for whatever reason, it just seemed to slip. So, like, what do you put that poor performance down to today?
Yeah, what you're saying that right there, you can see the exact same about the Kilmacud Crooks Mullinack game of 2018, which Davy Graham was managing. Yeah, or Mickey Graham. I don't know. Yeah. Mickey Graham, Yeah, I don't know mix up like, but he is just an he's just Cavan outsmarted us. They got the matching right. And there's no such thing as an easy game in Ulster football, and they went out and proved it. And they really threw their bodies on the line, got the markers wrong. They probably really, really studied the way Donegal going. Probably they didn't expect, because the other two games against Tyrone and Armagh, I think they kept Murphy out of the game, and maybe Cavan, they laid off Murphy a bit and maybe moved more towards Langan. Kieran Thompson didn't play the full game. Maybe he had an injury. You just don't know what was going on. And yeah, and maybe Owen McHugh, he's not a natural fallback, had a good enough performance, and yeah, but look, you can't be blaming. I'm not going to blame anyone missing, it didn't change the game. Cavan were the better team on the day, and probably I think they just got their matchups right, Cavan. I think, it's more the fact I'm definitely not saying that it was a rubbish Donegal performance. I just think Cavan were the better team in the day, and yeah, that's what I put it down to.
Yeah, and I suppose, like, there definitely were some questionable refereeing decisions at times. I think it was mostly, I actually think Cavan were the team that probably got stung the most. In the first half, you had that black card situation with Killian Brady. Even towards the end of the first half, Killian Brady won a perfectly clear mark, put his hand up, and the referee didn't give it, and I've still no idea. But there were some times with Donegal where there was one situation I think at the start of the second half, I can't remember who hit it wide. It might have been Caleb McGonigal, but the referee didn't play the advantage, could have called it back.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that if a couple of questionable refereeing decisions might have led to Donegal's defeat, or do you think, you just got to pay Cavan their respect?
You can only you can only blame the referee so much for things, and look, it was a high intensity game and all the rest, and maybe like you can say at times, he did this or that, but we look Cavan. As I said, the way they defended like absolute dogs, and they just absolutely were the better team on the day, and you can't deny like it's not like other years, maybe the Tyrone game of 2018 or down for the years, you kind of no, but I definitely would never point to the referee making any bad decisions as any fault of it, and look. They had, and if anything, we should have benefited off his decisions. Cavan got 2 black cards, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and we should have probably used our extra man to the better margin. So I think maybe, or if anything, if the referee made some right decisions, maybe it might have benefited Cavan more.
Yeah, and I think the second black card, I don't really think there was too much question about that one, in my opinion. I think that was a black card. But yeah, I think with refereeing decisions, you can't look at any refereeing decisions in that game. Like, it was fully well deserved from Cavan. Obviously, like when we were talking on an Instagram live stream last night, over on your Instagram page, we were talking a bit about the fact that a lot of teams are probably have Dublin in their heads, and maybe they're getting caught with cold feet. We've seen that with Kerry. Do you think maybe that was what happened to Donegal in this game, that they were looking too far ahead to Dublin, and even that result last night, I don't know, like maybe their focus shifted a bit, I think.
After Donegal's impressive one over Tyrone, the Kerry knockout of the championship, there was a wee bit of like hype saying, you know, this is Donegal's year to go on and challenge Dublin and in that 6 in a row. But after that Armagh one, you know, a fellow Division 1 team, in fact, the way we probably performed against them, the way we were quite convincing against them, I think that maybe might have got to the players, you know. I think that, you know, just got the edge on them. And I think, I definitely put it down to that there. That could definitely be a factor. I don't know if it's the overall factor, but maybe there was that hedge, you know, probably because, you know, every time these Donegal players look on social media, read the newspapers, turn on their TV and radio, they're hearing all this talk about them being the one staying in the 6 in a row. And, you know, I'm probably a bit guilty of it myself. But, you know, and so I'm not going to, but look.
Yeah. I suppose what can you do in the end?
It was a factor, but I don't know if it was the biggest factor.
And I suppose like this is obviously the 3rd year in a row where Donegal have in a big game, you know, right before an All-Ireland semi-final, they've let it slip. Like, what do you think? Do you think they're all linked together, or do you think that this is just a freak result?
We always seem to have one big bad injury before it, you know, you know, and there always seems to be that, you know. And look, but this year was our best. Look, I never liked the Super 8, you know. I thought they always maybe were a bit, especially for provincial winners like Donegal and Roscommon. I think they done us no favors, I don't think. But, you know, this was probably our best chance to go for it, because it was straight knockout, no Super 8, you know. Once you won your province, you're straight into an All-Ireland semi-final. Yeah, but I think Cavan really, really liked the idea of being underdogs, and it really probably played to their heads, and it probably all this talk of them being, you know, Donegal being convincing, you know, it just, they're happening, you know. And congratulations to Cavan.
Yeah. And I suppose now looking at the Final Four, which is also the same as 1920, there was also a pandemic that year as well, which is just kind of crazy. But I mean, do you give Cavan much of a chance against the Dubs? I mean, look, I think they will fight, and I do think Dublin will win, probably quite comfortably. It's a hard one to judge right now, but what do you think now, looking ahead into that Final Four? Is Sam staying in the capital?
Probably, you know, Dublin are the only Division 1 team left in the tournament. You know, you actually have Cavan, Tipperary, 2 Division 3 teams, Cork, a Division 2 team. So, you know, you're looking at, you know, Sam probably is staying in the capital, but, you know, Cork, Cavan and Tipperary are not the No, Cork aren't they? They're Mayo. I mean Mayo. Geez, don't want to get as excited, Cork fans. But look, Mayo, Cork, and Cavan, or Mayo, Tipperary, and Cavan. Sorry, it's a bit hard to get around it. But I think you know, they're there for a reason. They're there because they won their province, you know, and their semi-final place is probably a lot more dignified than any other team that came through the back door in the last 20 years. Their place is absolutely dignified in the semi-final, and they deserve to be there. And look, I think they're definitely gonna give a good fight, you know. And I say the other semi-final might be a bit more competitive than, you know, Dublin Cavan, but look, Cavan probably likes the idea that all this talk about Dublin winning them all the rest, you know. And sure, certainly they'll give a good account of themselves, and there's something about Cavan, they'll just, when you don't expect
they never die. They just never seem to back down. They seem to give everything, like
seem to give everything. And you know, I was watching Mickey Hart speaking to the BBC last weekend, and he was saying, you know, that Cavan are going to benefit absolutely off the idea of playing all these games. You know, they learn something new every single week, and considering they're all close contests, you know, Cavan are actually going to learn a thing or two going into Dublin. So that's what I think probably helps them. And look, they're definitely going to come in all guns blazing against Dublin, and yeah, should be an exciting game. But I'd still give the edge to Dublin.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of crazy. I was fully expecting Donegal. I was even looking at Donegal, thinking, you know, how are Dublin going to stop Donegal in certain ways? Like just looking at some of the Donegal players, and even after that performance, even if Donegal won, I was still confident Dublin would win anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just kind of crazy. I mean, obviously, like when you were on my show before, you were saying that like Mickey Graham, like one of the best managers probably in the GA in the country. Yeah. Like, do you think that, you know, he's probably manager of the year now in Gaelic football, probably in the GA in total, maybe after what he's done with Cavan? Like it's quite incredible, because even when you look at where Cavan were before he came in, like, yeah, they were kind of bouncing around Division 1 and Division 2, but they never really ever contested an Ulster title, and now back-to-back finals, and now they've won one as well.
Yeah, I rate Mickey Graham highly, but you look at it, you know, winning your first provincial championship in 23 years is great. It's brilliant and all the rest, you know. But if you won your first provincial championship in 85 years, like Tipperary with David Poyer, so I think the edge is definitely going to go to David Poyer and this one. Like Mickey Graham deserves a lot of credit, but I think if you're going to have to, if you're dishing out any manager of the year awards, it would probably go to, you know, David Poyer for winning that, you know, and Desi Farrell could beat Cavan and Mayo or Tipperary by at least 20 points with Dublin, and he still wouldn't get it because a lot of people were expecting it anyways. Like, so yeah, I think David Poyer has it won.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't think you can take anything away from Tipperary after that win. Well, yeah, look, listen, cheers, Patrick, for coming on, and look, there's always next year anyway.
Yeah. Well, we've been saying that since 2012, but look.